All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. Ed with Backwoods with the Bishops here today. We are gonna see if I can tin this whole roof in one day. I got some drip cap on both sides already. The roof is fully papered. Thanks for tuning in with the channel if you've never been here before. There we go. It's all papered up there. I got half my steel laying behind me. The other half's in the trailer. We're gonna pre-drill all of our steel before it goes up. I installed 3/4 inch plywood on the roof so that I don't have to strap it or whatever. So 3/4 inch plywood on 2 foot spacing for the truss. Ooh, she's nice. It is so nice. So yeah, today's challenge, we're gonna see if we can do this all in one day, all by myself. Let's get to it. "12 4 inches, okay. So we're gonna go with a 2.5 inch overhang, roughly like this. That's how far past the roof we're gonna stick it. And then it's gonna be just down from the peak for vented ridge. For the screws, we're gonna pre-drill on the ground. So when you're on the roof, you just zoop right in the hole. Easy, easy. We're gonna go every 20 inch on this. That's the bottom. Because I'm gonna start at the house and work my way out. I don't wanna see the overlaps. So we're gonna make the overlap that you don't see it when you're out and about in the yard. Okay, now that our sheets are all flush at the bottom, now we can mark that. So the first ones, 2.5, are gonna be at 5 inch. And then from there, we're gonna go 2 feet. That's 10 feet, this is 12 4, so the ridge cap will be the top. So this is the bottom, and I want this on the bump. Everybody can argue in the comments if you like that you don't like screwing on the bump. That is totally fine with me, but I do. And in the middle, because this is the bottom, we're gonna have extra screws to hold, like if there's a wind draft grabbing the bottom of the tin, I want more than just the ones on the bump. So we're gonna do one in the middle here as well. Right there. So here, 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 here. So that whole bottom's gonna get screwed quite a bit. So the edge of the roof is there, 2.5 inches over is the end of our tin. So I got marks here, just gonna mark all of these and we'll drill it. Okay guys, so if you see puffs of smoke throughout the day, check this out. This is what Laura's doing today on her channel, Backwoods with Laura. That's a smoker, and inside is pork candy. Get a load of that. She's gonna get mad at me. I'm letting all the heat out. So she's smoking it, and then she's gonna later today, I'm not the cook, I presume she's gonna run it through like the meat slicer and she's making smoked bacon, so I presume it's later today. She might let it cool to stiffen, I don't know. Check that out on Backwoods with Laura later. She's gonna be great. Cordless drill, 5/32 bit, 1/8, little over, whatever, doesn't really matter. We're pre-drilling for the simple fact that it's so much easier to put your screws in. When you look across the roof on an angle, they're all gonna line up. You look down on an angle, they're all lined up. It's gonna be super easy. Okay, we're gonna now put a screw in there so that the whole thing doesn't shift while I'm working on it. Alrighty, that's gonna be good enough. All right, now that this is set, that's our screw. Punch. That is gonna make this go super easy. We're not gonna drill this one just in case stuff doesn't totally line up. When that one's drilled, it'll tell us where the screw goes over here when you overlap. But I forgot to mention, it's already about 11:30-ish. It's not quite lunchtime yet. So Yeah, I don't have all day to do this. Do you still think I could do it? It's gonna be fun. Don't forget to leave comments in this comment section, guys. I'd like hearing from you. Okay, let's get this drilled. Okay, we got that all pre-drilled. Now we're gonna lean that up. Yeah, we're gonna lean that up against the roof, and then we're just gonna pull them up as we need them. Just to prove that I'm not lying, the roof is not done. Here's a gander at both sides. We are not got any tin on here yet besides the drip cap at the bottom, and that took 10 minutes. Oh yeah. All right, guys. Gonna take me a second to situate exactly how far from the wall this goes. Give me a second. All right. Oh, square into the fascia, 2.5 inches is what we want. Put a pin in this here. Oh, that's hard. Check. 2.5 inches, perfect. Now, we're just gonna pull the top right about there, and that's all we're gonna do with this sheet. Now we're gonna grab the next one, place him on there, screw this square on there, and that's gonna tell us whether we're starting square or not. Right about there, that's flush. Flush with the last sheet. Okay, bottom is tacked. There, see the top now is where it's supposed to be. Now guys, you do not want that screw to touch the plywood yet. There's one tack there at the bottom, so that is not screwed on yet. Now let's check right over here, because right there is 2.5. Let's check here. We're like 2 5/8. Yeah, that's 2.5, so that's very close to square. We'll just leave that like that now. Alrighty, third sheet. Remember when you're handling this stuff, guys, this will slice you wide open if you don't be careful with it. I'm actually gonna push this past. I'm gonna get back on my ladder. Okay, flush again. Now we're gonna put a screw in it. Okay, bottom is tacked, we're flush. Now let's check over here for 2.5. This is very important that you do both screws. All right, right there. So basically, all of this is one big square sheet. So what we're doing is we're lining the bottom so that everything is straight along the bottom before we screw this down. Now this is without doing a 3, 4, 5 on your roof. Okay, let's check this again. We're still at 2 3/8, so we're gonna pull this down because nothing is screwed yet. And when you measure, square in, not on an angle. All right, so that's 2.5. Now because I have 3 sheets now, I'm very confident this is very square. So now we can screw this down. And don't over torque stuff or you'll dent everything. Ow. See, the drip cap is under there, and that's what happens all the time if you don't pre-drill. So like right there, the drip cap's there, so that's not pre-drilled behind there. There, that went in nice. Now we'll go to the top before we get too carried away. We're gonna screw this down. Now that the bottom is screwed, you can screw all of this without the roof being dangerous to walk on. So that's the simplest way you can square your tin if your building's really square. Let's say you're gonna do a really big roof, you probably would want to check like a great big 3, 4, 5. This will get us by for this job, no problem. So the best way to go along screwing your roof so that it doesn't get mismatched, because like if you screw the whole top or the whole bottom, your sheet is gonna actually start to expand. On a 15-foot roof, it's not gonna mean much, but if you're screwing a 100-foot roof, we've had steel 3 inches out of square by the time you get to 50 feet. So we're gonna screw up the overlap, which is this one and this one. Then we know everything's screwed down, and then we can fill in the centers after. Oh, that 3/4 inch plywood's nice. So guys, if you want to vent why I'm not screwing on the flat, in the paperwork, you can screw on the bump or on the flat. Vic West doesn't care. Actually, this is Westman, but whatever. If a screw decides to start leaking on the bump, it's going to be way less leaking than it is on the flat. And I'm not talking like next week. I'm talking 20 years down the road. Okay, so this is not screwed yet. Mr. Pickle, I told him to go get another drill. Got the one drill. He's going to go get the other one. He's going to do the upper stuff. Got to start them young somehow. Let's get our next sheet on. So guys, very confident that this is very square on the roof now. If you ever do this job, do not let this steel slip through your fingers. You might lose one. Since I know the other ones are good, we're going to call it good enough just to match the bottom. That's flush. The bottom's flush. Screw the overlap first. Just like such. That has got 4 screws in it. We can now walk on this. Put one over here. One at the top. Okay, let's check this. What are we at here? Okay, exactly 36¼ inches from the end, which is a full sheet minus a tad. Gosh darn it, that sucks. Now, test your shoes, see if they're dusty. You're gonna wanna stand here like this, come down here. Okay, ooh, yeah, see, okay. So when you're screwing, when you get close to the steel, you gotta not screw it too far. See? Start, stop, and then now that's tight. You don't wanna see any dents. A little bit more. Tiny bit more. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, did you see it start to spread a little bit? And it doesn't go up and down when you on the screw, so it's almost there. Okay, guys, Dylan is gonna do some screwing. Do not count that against my challenge. It's gonna be crazy. We gotta go rip the sheet down below to finish off at the end here. It's like this much too wide. So Ed does not own super fancy scissors yet. We're gonna do it with this. Old fashioned. Okay, this guy's good. Drill this right here. Okay, so we're gonna go down to the ground. I'm gonna drill the second set of steel because we need to move over to this side. Oh yeah. 5 inches, 2 feet, 4, 6. All right, guys, if I haven't said it somewhere, Ed likes steel roofing. A lot. I don't like shingles. Steel roofing, fun. My bit was super dull, so I just had to go sharpen it on the grinder. Second pack drilled. And we are ready to throw that up there. You won't believe what time it is, guys. It's like barely 1:30. Looking good for Ed. Dylan doesn't like the side down here at the bottom. I'm gonna have to screw that one for him. Pushed all the way out, roughly there. Down 2.5, roughly there.
I'm gonna screw it here because I don't want to get out on there. Oh yeah, that's good. Now that I've got 3 sheets again, we're just gonna check and make sure we're at 2.5 inches down here, and then we can screw this right down. We are at just over 2 3/4, so that means the top needs to go, there we go, 2.5. I'm gonna call that happy right there. So remember, the overlap joint first. This is a challenge, guys, doing this alone, I tell you. Not a walk in the park when your buddies aren't with you. Just over 2.5. So it's creeping on us a little bit. We're gonna do the top first. We're gonna cheat it. We're gonna cause the steel to move a little bit, which would fix that down there. Not much, just about a 1/16 of an inch. And that's gonna help it from going out a straight. So by pushing the top that way, and then we're gonna push the bottom that way, it's gonna push the sheet a little bit. That's gonna bring it back to the 2.5. So this screw, we're gonna take it out. We're gonna angle it. And that's gonna change it just ever so slightly. All right, let's check it for fun. See what it did. It went from 2 5/8. Well, I guess it didn't really change, but maybe on the next one it'll show. Get this placed in here. We're getting somewhere. Guys, if you do steel, only do this if you're totally comfortable doing this. I've been doing this for years. So if you're just getting new at this, this is gonna suck. It's not for everybody at the side of the roof. All right, so here's our wall flashing. At this end, we're gonna put a 1-inch bend on it. That's gonna allow to cover the end, so it just looks more proper. Really is the only thing we're gonna do here. Basically, something like that. Now we're gonna put that down in here, right up against the wall. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. I get my handy dandy gun.
This gun's super awesome, guys. That's all it is. Kind of a 3/4 inch. Is it 3/4 inch? Oh, 1 1/4 by 3/8 crown stapler. So we'll just use that, tack that on there. That's gonna get nailed on there with the strapping and everything that's going on there, and I'll put screws on the tin. This is just to hold it there until that happens. Don't get me wrong, this would hold that on there for a good long time before I'd be worried about it.
All right, we're gonna have to play with this for a second here and make sure this is done properly.
It's going somewhere there. Cut. Cut. Bend that over. That's gonna go pretty much just like that. Nothing fancy. I'm gonna go 2-inch, like 18. We're gonna trim just like 2 inches over. Nothing fancy. That's gonna get bent. Go over that like that. Because then our ridge cap is gonna come and cap over this. You won't even see all this. Okay, so we got a bend over the end to cap that off. Otherwise, this piece would make a big hole here. So we got that capped off. And then we got this end cut out to kind of be the same for the fascia line here. So that piece is just about done.
Okay guys, that is a 5/12 pitch If you do not know the pitch of your roof, just come up here to the top. I'm actually gonna squeeze this more square because it's not holding against the roof tight. There, that's better. Okay, so put that where you want it, which is about right there. You're gonna make a mark here. We're gonna cut this bump part off, and then we're gonna mark that somewhere right about here. We're just gonna cut that so that this folds down. Okay, again, guys, I'm gonna go right there in the middle, like the line in the wood here. That's the line in the steel. It's gonna come right up here. We're just gonna nip that off and screw them in place. So when my fascia's all on there, you'll have your fascia, and then you could put a couple screws in the front of this to keep everything looking nice and straight and tight. But that's the over drip for that gable end. That's finished. Okay, back on the roof. All we got now is the ridge cap. Last but not least, let's cut the paper out of there so we actually have a hole. And then we got the foam right behind us. We're gonna stick that down. So this is gonna be a vented ridge, because this stuff, it's all fuzzy. You stick it down right on the steel, just like such, and then that breathes through there, and that'll let the heat out of my roof instead of holding that down inside. So we're gonna use our ridge cap to give us a semi idea of where that foam needs to go. Now the ridge cap's gonna sit roughly like this. If the foam was there, you could screw right below it. So we're gonna install our foam 1/2 inch down from the top of the steel on both sides. Ridge cap, we're gonna butt that right there. So our foam's up in there, up under here someplace. So we're gonna start screwing this down. You wanna get it roughly as straight as possible when you start. We're gonna do one side before we jump to the other side. So in theory, this split right in the middle is the middle for this side. I'm gonna start here in the middle this time. All right, guys. That's our end cap. That's gonna go out over the overhang. Okay, guys, that is a wrap. Check that out. We are done. Looks awesome. So check this out. This is what pre-drilling looks like when you're finished. If you happen to look at it from different angles, if you're up high and you can see people's roofs and stuff, if you look right down along, you can see that the line is very, very straight compared to up and down. All right, what time is it? We are at 4 o'clock. Wow, that's not bad, guys. In reality, basically did that roof in 4 hours. Let's just say it was a challenge for the day that I completed no problem. Hope you thought that was pretty fun, and come back to see the rest of the building projects. Watch the other videos of it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, what a zoo back there. Oh. Catch you real soon, guys. Have a good one.